Hey, what's up guys? How you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome today to, well, as you can see above my head, a Bundesliga Team of the Season video. I'm going to be showing you today a whole bunch of players from the German league who could possibly make it in to the Bundesliga Team of the Season, and then at the end of the video I will put a starting 11 out there for you guys to enjoy. Now, I don't claim to watch Bundesliga on the regular. In fact, I've been to one Bundesliga match in my entire life, and that was Frankfurt versus Stuttgart, and it was one of the greatest games of all time. It was like 5-4, epic match. But I don't really know much about the Bundesliga. Fortunately, I have a friend who is Bundesliga obsessed, and he is a stato. He knows all of his stuff. So a big shout out to Mike for helping me along with this video and putting some stuff together for me and with me so that we can figure out a team of the season. If you're interested in your football stats and stuff like that, I'll leave a link to Mike's Twitter down below. He's a good person to follow and a very nice guy. Now, of course, these videos are always very opinionated and very opinion based, and your opinion may be completely different to mine. So if that's the case, you know, I urge you to leave comments down below, but make sure you support them with reasons and stuff like that as to why you think certain players should or shouldn't be in the team of the season prediction. Okay, so we'll start off today, of course, with goalkeepers, and you've got 5 goalkeepers on your screens right now, and they are potential goalies that could make it into the Bundesliga TOTS. They are in rating order, and if you're wondering about their ratings that I've given them, it is basically just +5 on their overall stat and their actual stats on their card as well. So that is how it's going to be. We'll leave it down to EA to choose what actual ratings and stats that players get if and when they make it into the full TOTS. So we start with Karius. Karius is an 84 rated goalkeeper, probably a very good candidate for the bench of the team of the season. Other ones in the middle there, we've got Adler and Leno, both keepers that I would absolutely love. Leno especially, he's a very good goalie on the game, and I wouldn't mind seeing a 90 rated team of the season Leno. However, the most likely candidate for the #1 spot in the Bundesliga TOTS is Farman. 89 rated or something like that he would likely be, and I love both of his informs and his regular item on the game, so I'm pretty sure he'll be an absolutely insane goalie, someone that would definitely rival Neuer. And of course Neuer goes in there because you can't not talk about him. He's probably the greatest goalkeeper in the world. However, he's not often tested that much at Bayern, which says something about their defense. Now we move on to fullbacks, and we've got 4 for you guys to take a look at here. Now, these don't really spring out and like excite me for players that I really want to get in packs and stuff like that. However, they could be pretty good, and we've got a couple of gems in there. That Weiser guy, he's normally like a right mid on Ultimate Team, but apparently he plays at right back, so he's got a team of the season potential right back card, as well as Plattenhardt and Schmelzer. They are our left back options. Of course, Schmelzer is a candidate for the most consistent team of the season. Whether he's still in the draft for that, I'm not 100% sure. Someone let me know down below, but he looks to be the best one out of that lot for me. 83 pace, 84 defending, 83 physical, something like that would be pretty good. Now we move on to centre backs, and I've got a hell of a lot of them to show you today, so I've split them into 2. The first 4 are your lower rated ones, and they all actually look pretty good. Sulu, Matip, Brooks and Tar all have around the 80 to 81 overall if they were to get a team of the season. All have got over 70 pace and decent defending, decent physical. I don't care who gets one out of those guys, but I'd quite like one of them to get them. They would be cheap, and they'd be relatively decent, and you could partner them with the likes of course, Jerome Boateng and some of the higher rated normal cards on Ultimate Team in your pretty relatively decent price Bundesliga side. And then we've got the big 3. 2 from Bayern Munich, and of course 1 from Dortmund in the middle right there. They are, of course, David Alaba, Mats Hummels and Jerome Boateng. Now, Boateng, probably least likely out of those guys to get one. Injuries have affected his season and whatnot, but I reckon David Alaba and Mats Hummels will both make it into the team of the season. My good friend Mike, who helped me a lot with this Bundesliga TOTS, has suggested that Alaba would be a centre-back for the team of the season. I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't mind him as a left back, as a centre mid, or as a centre back, or as a bloody striker with those stats. I reckon a new player ready for the 80+ club, something to get excited about for sure. Now we move on to central midfielder options, and again, there's lots to talk about, so I've split them into 2. These are the lower rated guys. We've got Weigl from Dortmund, who looks to be a very awesome young talent, very good of course against Liverpool a couple of weeks ago or whatever. Next up then we've got Dahoud, who is is someone who I believe has a silver upgrade as well as a silver inform, so he is likely to move all the way up to that gold category, somewhere around the 80 rated mark. Pretty good stats across the board, 70 plus club, all of that good stuff, and would be a great, very cheap, decent dribbler of the ball for your Bundesliga midfield. We then have two other players, Darida and Didavi. Now, Darida is a likely candidate for the starting 11 in midfield with one of the players that I'll talk about in just a moment. And then Didavi would look like an amazing cam. 80 pace, 85 dribbling, 86 shooting, 81 passing. I would take that for sure. And then we move on to the potential higher rated central midfield items. We got the likes of Mali at cam, who would be the same rating as Didavi, of course. Then the likes of Xhaka, Gundogan, Vidal. I wouldn't mind either of those guys. Xhaka being a player with great passing there. We've got Vidal, who would just be obliterating the 80 plus club and have some amazing stats. But the most likely candidate, probably Ilkay Gundogan from Dortmund. So we've talked about the central midfielders. It's time to move out wide a little bit and talk about the wingers. Now, I've got four options for you guys today. We've got Kostic and Douglas Costa out on the left-hand side, as well as a potential Marco Reus. I think I'm hoping a little bit too much for that one. I don't think it's going to happen, but a team of the season without Reus having an amazing card like that, is it worth living, really, at the end of the day? Likely candidates in this particular category, out of the four of them, you can pick two. You can pick the middle two, Douglas Costa and Mkhitaryan. Both had fantastic seasons for their clubs, and I would greatly appreciate both of them on Ultimate Team. Both around the 89 rated mark, absolutely rapid. Mkhitaryan, of course, has got 5-star weak foot, 4-star skills, and Douglas Costa is a 5-star skiller, so both of them, in terms of an Ultimate Team perspective, would be pretty awesome. And then finally we move on to the attackers for the Bundesliga TOTS. There are 6 options I've got for you here, and we'll start with the lower rated ones. 85 rated Salomon Kalou. I'd actually really like that. If you look at those stats, those potential stats, they'd be insanely good, and he'd be a great cheap striker. The likes of Rafael, Chicharito, I mean, that's going to be a good one, isn't it? Around an 88 rated, loads of pace, great dribbling, incredible shooting. He'd be a very overpowered card on the game. And talking of overpowered, well, Aubameyang, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He's already got 99 pace on his man of the match item, so he's not going to get higher than that. But his other stats will improve, and he will definitely make it into the team of the season Bundesliga. Around 91 dribbling, 94 shooting. He's a definite game breaker, and he's going to absolutely ruin lives. And then our final two players here are both Bayern Munich players. Very high rated ones as well. We've got the likes of Thomas Müller, Robert Lewandowski. Either of these getting into the starting 11 would be absolutely huge. Thomas Müller's stats would be incredible. He's had a few special cards along the way. Same with Lewandowski. I don't know whether or not he would really get like a 97 overall, but that is just +5 from his highest rated inform at present. And if he did, well, his stats would be phenomenal. This is a time of year where EA do give very high rated, very amazing stat cards out, so I'm looking forward to it nonetheless. So out of all of those options, it's now time to put a starting 11 together. I've left the bench and the reserves clear. You guys can talk about that in the comment section, who you would like to put in there and whether or not you agree with this starting 11. We've gone with a 4-4-2 side, a very high rated 4-4-2 side actually. I think Ralph Farman will get the #1 spot in goal. Probably the likes of Karius making the bench, which would be pretty good. A relatively good one in Farman, well, an amazing keeper in Farman, and then a cheaper one in Karius on the bench. That would be pretty sick. The defense is stacked with Dortmund and Bayern players, like most of the entire team is actually. Schmelzer, if he doesn't make it into most consistent TOTS, then I think he'll be in the starting 11 of Bundesliga. If he does, I think he'll probably still make it into the Bundesliga, maybe on the bench, something like that. And then I've gone with Alaba, Hummels and Boateng, who were the 3 high-rated centre-back options. Whether Boateng makes it in or not is another thing, but of course he is, as you know, one of my favourite centre-backs on the entire game, so I had to put him in there just because I really want him to get one. The midfield looks pretty stacked as well. As I mentioned on the wingers, Mkhitaryan, Douglas Costa, probably both going to definitely make it into the starting 11. Then the likes of Gundogan, Darida in the middle, and then that strike force of Lewandowski and Aubameyang, pretty much guaranteed, I guess. And they would be both very, very much worth the coins that they cost, I'm sure. Interested to use all of those types of players. Let me know what you think of today's video. Of course, I don't even pretend to be someone that knows a lot about the Bundesliga, but I have definitely enjoyed making this video and showing you some of the potential players that could make into the TOTS for Bundesliga. So if you've enjoyed the video, smash a like on it, and of course subscribe to my channel if you are new. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time, guys. Peace.